My name is Joyce Anderson. I'm a retired teacher. I spent 30 years teaching in North Carolina, 12 in Virginia. I taught, at some point I've taught every grade from 4th to adult education. My first year teaching, it was segregation in North Carolina. All of them in Virginia were segregated too.
When you taught segregated and then the white folks came, tell me, what did you notice about how the people were a little bit different in their culture? What did you notice about them?
All right, like I say, the first thing I noticed probably was the dress. I think we had dressed a lot more formally in the segregated school system. We pretty much expected the women to wear hose and heels, a lot of them, dress shoes, dress clothes, not very casual at all.
These are the teachers now.
The teachers, and of course, the administrators did too. They probably dressed more than we. And even this particular principal was concerned about hair. And I remember my husband had an afro and a beard, and he kind of let him know, maybe you need to trim it down a bit. That kind of, now this is a black principal. It was very proper, very formal, and that kind of thing. Appearance and your language and the whole 9 yards. Be very professional. Stress on professionalism and expected you to join the professional organizations.
Okay, so then the white teachers and the students come in, right?
Yeah.
So tell me how that was similar or different.
The dress was a little more informal. They didn't necessarily wear pantyhose or heels. It was just more casual. And like I say, the first day students came, the thing that struck me most was the idea, like in the segregated school, whatever name was on that formal record, that's the name I call the child. If your name is Doug James, I call you Doug. Well, the first day, a lot of the kids, not all of them, were saying, I want to be called by Dougie, or I want to be called by, I just made that up. But they wanted to be called by something that was not on the record at all. In other words, a nickname. So I asked other teachers, I said, are we allowed to do that? They said, yeah. So just write it by their name and call them that. So that was kind of an awakening for me.
Okay, got you. And then you said there was another thing that happened.
I was getting ready to talk about that. I taught language arts, social studies, and then there was a block for math, science, and then they went to PE and other little extras. Well, one day, a child came in with a python around his neck. I nearly had a conniption. I said, what are you doing with that? You need to get it. Well, my science teacher said I could bring it. And sure enough, she did. So I don't know how it happened, but I probably told him to take it to the science teacher until he got there, because I don't think it stayed. But all the years I had taught, 4 years prior to that, no, 3. And I taught middle school before. I'd never taught high school at this point, though that was my main training, was high school. But I had never had a child bring a snake to school. So that was a weird awakening for me. But
that's great.
I didn't have too many other than the snake. Most of the experiences with parents and students were positive for the most part.